Hey, what's up, you guys? I have to be a little bit quiet because, you know, it's kind of late. It's like 12 something as I'm recording this. I know that I haven't been uploading anything recently for this channel. My main channel, it's on and off. The only real definite thing has been Ruby, and I feel bad about that, but things have come up. But as you can tell from the title of this, I actually read the manga for Fruits Basket. Well, by read it, I mean I actually read everything to to pretty much finish it. I read some stuff before, but nothing that was like ever past what was animated. And now I have, and it's really thanks to my school library for having the collector's edition of that. I intended fully to go into the second season blind. I did. And I honestly can't really say I'm really I don't think I feel bad about not just waiting. As much as I would love to have gone in blind, this I'm like emotional. The bookmark here, you can tell that's just 'cause that's a whole bunch of extra stuff, which I will gladly read through. But in all technicalities, I've read all of it. I have one volume of Fruits Basket and another to finish, but as for the main story, I've read it. And on to my point. I just want to talk about it a little bit, because I'm emotional, and I can't talk to anyone because they're all asleep like normal people. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. I just need to... Anyways, let's get to talking. So, I don't have all of them, because, you know, library rules, we have a certain amount we can bring out at a time. Trust me, if I was allowed to bring them all, I would've. But, we gotta stick with 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. This is gonna be out of nowhere, because I don't review things. I can barely function any of my thoughts, and yes, I took like a 5-minute break. Not 5 minutes, it just felt like it. I needed that. I was like crying again. So if my reaction to season 1 or my reaction to the 2001 version didn't tell you guys anything, I love Fruits Basket a lot. If you look around my room, it may seem like fairy tale's the thing I like, because it was a major part of my childhood, so it has a dear place in my heart too, and you can tell that as well. But this, I remember when I first watched this, and believe me when I say, I think I was in, like, oh man, I would not stop talking about it. It was this biggest thing for me. It's been so long. it just... I can't wait for season 2, or even season 3. I'm impatient now. Because I can't wait to actually see this stuff get animated and get to hear it in their voices. Yeah. Because this was amazing. I love this so much. And, like, reading Hanajima's backstory compared to watching it, like, even though I had already seen, her backstory because of, you know, the anime, how they animated it, for the 2019 version, the reboot, even though I had already seen it, it did not make reading it any easier. Oh my god, like, all of that stuff was just, it hurt a lot. And, you know, so, you know, there's like the obvious things that the 2001 was more humorous, definitely took away the edge that the series itself really does have. I still really like the 2001. I think it's a lot of nostalgia, and because I just personally think it has a place in my heart. Because while I may find some, like, things that I definitely vastly prefer in the manga itself or in the reboot so far, I still really appreciate it, and, like, I still fondly look back on it. But I can understand, you know, where thoughts are coming from. I wholeheartedly get it. But I think for, like, where I was at when I first watched it, it was just about right. I'm not saying, like, if I saw the reboot, if that's what it was like, it would have scared me away. I probably would still love it. I'm just saying that, like, it was definitely interesting. And it gave me this, like, perspective, I think, back then. Anyways, on to the manga, because when talking about the manga, I have to reference the anime, because that's where I saw it first. Like I said, I'm not good about this, and I don't know where I'll cut this off, but I hope I do it soon. Sorry for rambling. I have not slept the best in the past few months, so I'm a bit everywhere. Anyways, for one, characters. So, they just, they briefly introduced Rin. I'm sorry, I can't, Isu. Yeah, I have trouble, so I call her Rin. We got to meet Rin, at the very end for a split second when she was in the hospital, and she's like, Shigure's my only, she was like, talking about Shigure. And that was all we get to see about her in the, reboot. Then, now, I love her. She's great. Also, going into this, like, even if I hadn't have read this and I saw this season 2, the minute Hatsuharu was angry, I would have instantly been like, oh, I know what's happening. I forget where I heard that. I forget where I heard about the whole, like, spoilers obvious, by the way, the whole, like, she broke up with me, and I was fine, but then all of a sudden, I just turned, yeah. No, I forget where I heard that, but the minute I read Hatsuharu say we broke up, like, she broke up with me, she dumped me. However he phrased it, I'm sorry, I think I read that, like, yesterday. I was like, oh, I instantly made that connection. I was like, oh yeah. And, like, the relationship building. Oh my god. They kind of did it in the reboot with, Mitsuru and, Ritsu, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm having trouble with that. They kind of did it there, like, where it ended off where it was, like, talking about, like, the way they just ended it reminded me how they ended some of the little bit of story between relationships in here. And now that I've seen it happen so many times here, I appreciate how they did that episode so much more. Like, I loved it. Like, if you see my reaction, I loved it. I'm just saying, like, but now that I, like, got to read so many of them happen down here in front of my face, now I have, like, this level, and, like, I can't wait. I don't know. Once again, I'm so sorry that now I can't go into the season blind like I was really hoping for, but at the same time, now I feel like I have a drive. I feel like now instead of, like, being confused, like, maybe instead of, like, catching other things, like, these details that, other people can if they've read the manga, I would be just so focused on trying to take in all the information I can, which in itself would be cool because I could theorize, but at the same time, I just want to be able to sit there, enjoy it, but then also, like, kind of, in my head, compare, contrast, and, like, see how things were done, and, like, if it felt like, just see how it changed the flow. I'm, once again, everywhere. Also, I still don't remember Takeru? Machi? For one, Machi, I love her. I love her. Machi is great. That's something I knew about because I watched a lot of Maddie's videos. So, I wasn't mad about that either. I was really happy, actually, to hear about it. Because I knew from the I knew since after watching the 2001 that I knew who Toru would get with. And it was also, like, I also, by that point, kind of also I was like, huh, and, I was figuring things out piece by piece, and just, I didn't know Machi super well. I just knew her name, and some, like, things like how they grew close. And so getting to read, about this, and she was introduced in the reboot, very briefly. I'm pretty sure that's Machi at the very end there, when she spies everyone. That seems a tad bit different, because originally she sees just Yuki in the manga. If I'm not wrong. Please, hopefully I'm not. I feel bad if I am. I get to reread this as much as I can for the rest of my senior year. until I somehow rummage money and buy it. Anyways, just a dream. But she was really cool, and getting to see him, like, oh, man. Getting to see him and how he really, like, got Yuki to feel comfortable and, like, open up. It's almost like dealing with Kyo, but without, like, you know, the, not resentment, but, like, the tension, the strain that was there. It's that relationship with not that much strain. Of course, we do come to find that he, is dating, why am I forgetting names? But he's dating the girl whose dad was the one who got into the accident that took Kyoko's life. And that was an interesting thing. I like how they can connect to characters, really. It's very interesting. And, I'm sorry, I'm like thinking of how this ends and I'm like, just a mess. Really, this video is just coming down to how much I appreciate it, and like, let's see how much coherency we can actually squeeze out of my tired, sad yet happy mind, and we'll see what we get. I'm uploading this without any second thought, so we're dealing with whatever we get. At least I am, but no. So, yeah, no, I liked his character. I'm gonna have fun seeing how he's going to be, what's his voice gonna be like. I am so curious now. And Machi herself, like, when they first started, like, introducing her, I had so many questions. Like, her name sounded familiar, but it didn't completely click in my head at first, because I was really just trying to figure out her character, what was going on, and all the things going down there. But after a while, I was like, oh, that's cool. And, you know, we also get, you know, the thing that a lot of us know during the show itself, that, you know, like Yuki, how he kind of looks up to Toru almost like a mom, which he actually finally gets to tell her, which is fucking awesome. Have I cursed yet? If I just now broke by not cursing, I'm sorry. But, you know, that was cool. Machi's really cool. I'm trying to think of who she reminds me of. She's almost like Rin. In a low-key way, sometimes she reminded me of Rin. And, sometimes it's weird saying Rin, because we also get to meet Ren Soma. Yeah, she terrifies me. I think I was reading something once and her name came up and I didn't know who she was. But based off, like, her dialogue in the thing that I was reading, I was like, she sounds terrifying and, I'm a little scared. Also, this is actually, you know, I'm forgetting his name. Shisho. He cut his hair. I like how that's what I was so passionate about. He cut his hair. Maybe it's the Ruby stuff. Blake, you cut your hair. But no. Yeah. Shisho. Kureno is on a different one. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget the Katsuya. Kyoko. That hurt my soul. Like, I just can't. I can't with this. And, you know, also, I think I was thinking that something, like when Kyo said I'm sorry to Toru back in the reboot, I figured it had something to do with Kyoko. And also, you know, the fact that, you know, Hana was like, why, you know, like, those questioning to Kyo when he seemed, like, super away and, like, separate. Those questions, I was like, does this have something to do, like, and I was really curious about it. And, oh my god, that's so effed. That is just, this person who is, like, treating you like normal, showing you, like, affection and, like, kind of just, you know, there for you. And, you know, when you go and, like, try to see her daughter, because you've heard so many stories and you wanted to see her, she seems so lonely. And you're just sitting there hoping that, you know, they can be happy. And then after, you know, the event, like, Yuki being able to help Toru. Oh my god, that whole that plot line was amazing. I'm sorry. I figured it was Yuki, but I loved actually getting the validation of reading it and seeing what actually went down, and like how Kyo was still involved in that, and how, yes, Yuki was the one who gave the hat to Toru, but in reality the hat's still Kyo's. But oh my god. Rambling. I don't. It hurt. And it was just so funny seeing Yuki just be like, oh man, where was it? I need to find that. Hold up. So I found it. My memory served me right, and it was in 10. You know, they get like super awkward here. And Yuki's there. But then what really got me was really just Yuki's thoughts here. Just right here. He's like, that was so awkward. I felt like a son standing between his mother and her new boyfriend. But was it just me? Are they that oblivious? That actually killed me. I was reading this in the car on my way back from school. My sister was just like getting in the car, and I was like, Kaylin, read this, please. Just like the disbelief of it. And I totally got that same feeling, honestly. I was like, oh. Because that scene was like so wholesome, but it was also just like, damn, Yuki, you just witnessed not a fight, but like an awkward... it was just funny, because I totally can see it, like, because Toru really, she cares about everyone, and she, you know, by being nice to all of them and caring about them, in a way, she treats so many of them kind of like the way she treats them is like a motherly warmth and affection. And so, me too, I was just sitting there, like, I was like reading it, and I was like looking at Yuki, I'm like, this must be awkward. Because I don't know, it was just a big deal for me. Talking about why I was so emotional, it's because, like, also, can I just say, this got real. This got so real for me. You know, talking about career, where you're planning on going, all of that. I think that's why I was, like, fine with... I think ultimately, I think it was a good thing that I read this. Because I'm such a mess. Some of you may know, I think from videos on this channel. But I'm actually, in my senior year. And my senior year is almost halfway over. Just, about a month. Pretty much, I think. It'll be halfway over. And I've just been, like, really having a bit rough. But reading this, like, kinda, it helped. That's for sure. It was really nice, especially because, you know, like, hearing them question it, like, really just helped me, like, kinda, while it wasn't, like, getting my mind off of it, because it really just shoved it in my face, it wasn't a bad type of way. It, like, brought it up to me in a way that kind of helped me get a more peaceful thought about it. And it was also just funny getting to see Hanajima. What are your future plans, your career? For now, I would like to graduate. That made me laugh. That made me laugh so much. I appreciate it. And, Natsuki, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I wish yeah. This was great. I read all of the, you know, also just the colored artwork. Sorry about the light, but everything about this is great, and I love it. Momiji, by the way. Yeah, but I read all of the special thanks. Just all of them. And, no, I love this, because, like I said, for 12, we get to the special thanks kinda super far in. Once more, for the last time, I am deeply grateful to everyone who read Fruits Basket, to everyone who is reading it now, to everyone who took part in anything to do with Fruba. If I was able to leave behind even one thing, that would make me happy. Thank you very much. To that, I say thank you for everything. Yeah. But no, getting to see all of them kind of getting to see them grow up kind of really really got to me. Oh my god, and then like Hero's little sister and like how, oh my god. That was precious and just all of them. I was with Toru there. I just wanted them to be happy. I wanted her to be happy too, but like I and like the revelation about the curse and all, like lifting and all of that just really just like how much emotion was really put into that. A long time ago, I was like really told you can't learn anything from an anime, a manga. You can't learn from those things. Well, maybe I can get at least a new outlook on life a little bit. Sure, maybe it's not like something like, oh yeah, well, because of this, I was able to, you know, like something in the grand scheme of like college or a job, maybe. But personally, there's always a little lesson hidden in everything and anything. And we can't ignore it just because we don't think it's going to be anything huge or huge, like big meaning. I valued everything from this book. All of the different characters and like all of the way they showed like their loneliness, all their like struggles, and like how all of them like in a way tried moving through it, but you could tell it was still there. And just when the curse was, you know, lifted, like, you know, the explanation of like it's like lonely, it's like this one thing that we've always wanted to be free of, but now that it's gone, it's kind of sad, but at the same time it's freeing. Yeah, I don't know. Once again, I'm so glad I get to just continue to reread. Can't wait till I actually own it. I have up to 4 of the you know, original, not the collectors. Literally the minute I saw this in the library, I told myself no. And then the bell rang, I needed to head to class. I turned around, grabbed it, checked it out, and then went to class. I read this in probably 2 days. I read this in like 2 days. Because I was just insistent. Well, if I wasn't sure I loved it now, back when I first watched it, or for the first season of the reboot, I'm sure now, and, this is definitely something I'm going to sit there and probably think about, and probably enjoy forever, honestly. It's funny, like, when I first came home with the first ones that I was reading, I showed them to my mom, and she was like, I bet you want them, like, she was joking with me, and I was like, I do want them. And then she was like, well, at least because they're the libraries, you don't have to worry about, like, you know, creasing them, folding them too much. I looked her dead straight in the eyes and was like, I don't care that they're not mine, I'm still treating them like that. I'm, like, carefully holding them, reading them with care. I don't know. because I just like it through this, because you know we're waiting. I'm waiting season 2, until these scenes get animated. It's just getting to see Yuki come out of his shell. I've always liked Yuki. I'm not trying to say that I favored him. I'm just saying I've always liked Yuki. I never picked between the two. I've always liked them. But I always kind of felt for Yuki, because, like, it's, like, one thing, like, yeah, sure, maybe seeming to be, like, looked up upon as, like, the prince of the school. Maybe that seems like something, like, it is a high honor, but kind of like in Akito's case. Being considered special or looked up to like some god, which is literally Akito's case, but not actually being seen for yourself. For Yuki, like, looks and, like, you know, how he acted at the time, and Akito because she was the god. It's they're putting you on a pedestal, and then for some they think, you know, you're too good, stay away, and then others resent you, and you know, it's interesting dynamic. But I've always liked Yuki. He was cool and he was nice, and the kindness thing. Yes, maybe he was in some ways at the beginning being super nice because, you know, for his own reasons, but at the same time, I guarantee you a lot of actions, especially after he met Toru, were honest, just instinct to do. It was still genuine on some level. Because when you think about it, even if he didn't always apologize for everything, he probably still would have been looked up to as the prince. A lot of his charm was that he was super nice, and when some people did talk to him, he was friendly. But then you had also the flip side whenever he would reject someone occasionally, like that one girl would say, do you think you're higher than everyone? Do you think you're better than everyone? You know, you don't even like, you know, like all of those words. It's like things like that. That will weigh on someone's mind, especially, like, we get to see that, you know, Kyo wishes he was like Yuki, and Yuki wishes he was like Kyo. They both saw aspects of themselves that they liked. But they mostly saw hate. But what I'm really trying to say here is, they both liked something. And what they need to realize, too, is that, okay, you can be that, too. Sure, maybe unlike the other, who it's natural, or it just happens, maybe you'll have to work a little bit towards it, but just because you'll only see it in them at this time, doesn't mean it's completely impossible to you. Toru's, plum analogy, for rice ball, that one, I remember that back all the way from the 2001, and I remember it from the manga, too. Because I read the manga pretty soon after that, and that was always one of my most favorite things about it. People, like, it's on your back. The things that are good about you, they're all, like, just there. And because you can't see your own pack, it's harder to see the things you like, which makes it easier for you to focus on the things you hate. And it's easier to see things, like, all these good, positive things about other people, because you can see their back. And, you know, that's obviously just an analogy, a weird one, but a really, I think, fitting one. Because for some reason, for a lot of people, it is hard to see aspects of themselves that they actually like. They're there, they just, for some reason, don't see it. But then, you know, whenever someone, you know, goes, why can't you see that? They also have to think, because you know, it's hard. It's definitely easy to see more of the negatives, but, you know, we have to go with it. And I was literally about to end it, and then, you know, my camera cut off. Once again, this wasn't really me trying to review or really do any of that. I just wanted to kind of rant because the minute the camera turns off, I'm probably gonna cry. No, I can't pinpoint an emotion exactly I'm feeling. Disbelief. Disbelief is definitely one of them. That is a strong one. When I went back to the librarian was like, I think there's only 12. And I was like, I'm pretty sure there's only 12. It says final. So, yeah. It was a realization that, like, I only had these 4 left to read. And that I can blast through them within a day. That it just... It was a lot to take in. To, realize, come to an understanding. I don't regret it one bit. Not at all. This was amazing. I loved every second of it. Straight up. If my sister was actually here half the time I was reading, I would have ranted to her and talked about it for a long time. But then again, a funny story for that, I was reading, and I think I was, it was when, they were doing teacher conferences, and Hannah says her lines that, like, her lines were there. I started laughing, and only then did I realize that someone was calling me. And it turns out my sister wanted to get picked up, and I completely ignored the phone because I was just reading and I didn't notice. So yeah, I got sucked in, and it took kind of a joke bringing me back to my own thoughts to realize what was happening. I was just like, I hear vibrating and I touch my phone. It's my phone. Just like, oh wow, look at that. Really though, if you guys made it to this point in the video, I really thank you a lot. I am like really trying to think of what to say. It's... Yeah, Machi, Saki. I love them all. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on, like, the manga, or, if you haven't read the manga, and I'm sorry that you heard some of those things, because some of those things are only manga. But then again, if you guys continued past the spoiler thing I said, you probably were okay with hearing it. Let me know what your thoughts are on, like, how the reboot's doing, I would love to hear that too. I really enjoyed it, and now that I've read this, I could see, like, placement of some things and, like, why, when, Maddie was reacting, she's like, oh, that goes here? Wow. And I just realized the fact that, wow, it was weird. Toru doesn't meet Hiro until after the Kyo true form arc. But in the manga, the true form arc's first. That was a really weird realization for me to come upon, but I did, and I really... Good stuff. Good stuff. I can't talk anymore. Oh god. If you've noticed numerous times, I've started to cry. So yeah. I need to end this. Remember, my main channel, when season 2 starts airing, I'll be on it. I don't care if I'm busy. I probably will be, honestly, now that I think about it, but I don't care. Who cares? I'll be doing something, but the minute I hear, I'll push it to the side, I'll make some time, I'll do it, and I'll watch it. Because trust me, probably, honestly, when it first started airing, it was at a time where I kind of like right now, where I wasn't feeling the best, and, then all of a sudden, even when I heard about the reboot, like, I first saw the reboot trailer, like, when I was having a little rough spot with grades and stuff like that, and I was just like, really? They're making a reboot? They're going to do the entire series? It was, like, this big, like, because Fruits Basket was something I watched when I was, like, 10. So, I'm not like, others who've been waiting literally, like, 17, like, how many years? I only waited like 8. But to me that was still amazing because, technically my that was like one of my childhood shows. It was a show that definitely stuck with me. And now that I think back on it, maybe that's why I was interested in the Chinese zodiac. I remember asking, like looking stuff up before. That was funny to remember randomly. But maybe that's true. So yeah. All I can say is, though, if you haven't flippin' read the manga, I don't care if if you can't find the collector's edition, but you can, find maybe at your library, either your school, or if no school, your local library. If you can find one, pick it up and read it. It's worth it. You can also just remain anime only and just watch the anime. That is perfectly fine as well. That is what I was supposed to be, but then my librarian decided to buy these and it was too late. My anime only thing was signed off. But do it. It's really worth it. It was like Assassination Classroom. So I watched season 1 completely blind. And I think I got up to episode 5 of season 2 before I started reading the manga. And I finished the manga before season 2, when, the final season for Assassination Classroom ended. So I read that stuff with Koro-sensei before it was animated. Let's just say it took me an extra year before I actually watched it animated, because I broke down reading it, and I could only imagine how I would handle it if I saw it animated. And I was watching a Try Not to Cry video, and that's where I first saw the scene, and I cried like a baby. So this is gonna hurt. I'm going to love it, but I'm probably gonna cry at the end. Oh my god, that's like, I'm both looking forward to when I get to see this fully animated, but then sad. It's such a mix of feelings, and I said I was gonna end this a long time ago. Once again, though, thank you if you continued. I really do actually need to cry, though, so I need to just stop and not be embarrassed and end the video so I can cry off screen. Oh, but yeah. That's how my life goes, apparently. It was like with, Ancient Magus Bride. It started so fast, it's why my main channel has picked up so much. Lies, it's just how I started back into YouTube. But it holds a great place in my heart. I need to read the manga. Oh my god, no. It's a trap. Fruits Basket 3 days. Let's see, Ancient Magus Bride. How fast can I get that done? I would just have to find the manga. New mission, I need to ask my librarian. They'll probably show up by the time it's too late, but librarian, get that in there. It's a good one. Yeah. I've rambled off to 2 different things now, so I'm gonna actually have to end this here before I go any more off topic. Anyways, like I said originally, I love Fruits Basket, honestly, with all my heart. And I've been trying so long to actually get a few of my friends to watch it, and honestly, I think I should tell a few of my friends to also just effing read it, because I think a few of them may not actually watch the anime, but they might actually read the manga. So I'm really looking forward to sitting there and just emphasize, because I think they'll like it. I'm not like trying to force them into this, and like, let's say they're into like action, shonen, and like that's all they really like, and I'm trying to force this on them. No. They'll be okay with this type of stuff. I think they would actually find it really interesting. I got my friend into Pandora Hearts, so like I said, I can infer a little bit. See you guys. Thanks for listening to me rant for 40 pretty much minutes. Or is it 50? Did I make a 50-minute video? I am so effing sorry. Here's a video that YouTube thinks you would appreciate. I have no idea. If YouTube knows you, they might. I don't know. And yeah. I'm sorry if it's not big, because this channel doesn't have many videos, but we have to work with what we got. Have a nice day. Bye.